Hello, everyone. Welcome to my session at TestFlix 2024 on the era of intelligent testing, transforming testers into skilled SDETs. Doesn't this remind you of Chandrayaan 3's moon landing? On a serious note, imagine if your code could collaborate with you, anticipate your needs, and drive innovation. Today, I'm here to reveal the magic that makes this possible. Visionaries of technology and future enthusiasts, welcome to a session that promises to transform your perspectives and ignite your curiosity. Let's dive into how software testing is evolving in the era of intelligent testing. But before that, some quick insights about me. I'm Siddhant Wadhwani, a versatile leader with nearly a decade of experience in the IT industry. As an engineering manager SDET at Newfold Digital, I manage 35 SDETs across geographies. I'm an avid traveler, tech enthusiast, mentor, blogger, and innovator. Having spoken at over 80 global tech conferences, holding numerous certifications, and contributing to institutes, I'm also a BrowserStack champion and the Mumbai chapter lead. With a strong LinkedIn presence of nearly 20,000 followers, I'm also recognized as a LinkedIn top voice. All right, so what's on our agenda for today? Firstly, I'll introduce you to the era of intelligent testing. Then we'll understand the transformational journey from testers to skilled SDETs, the role of generative AI in software testing, shift left testing and in sprint automation, metrics that matter, measuring quality assurance, and last but not the least, adapting leadership for continuous learning. Once upon a time, software testing couldn't keep pace with the rapid advances in the software development lifecycle. QA teams struggled during times of continuous delivery, leading to significant increase in production defects, indirectly lowering the team morale due to excessive testing overheads, especially given that, on an average, for every 5 developers in a team, there is only one tester, whereas the ideal ratio should have been 5 is to 2. Over the years, we have seen a significant shift in testing roles. Quality assurance engineers who tested flows manually to transitioned to automation engineers and now the role of SDETs. SDETs not only automate tests but also write production code, integrate with CI/CD pipelines, and collaborate closely with developers to ensure high quality releases. With the recent advancements in technology, innovation in machine intelligence, and test automation, QA teams are now able to keep pace with development. This has also led to an increase in productivity, improved product quality, as well as raised customer satisfaction levels across the IT industry. Talking about intelligent testing, it is about moving beyond traditional automation. It involves the use of AI and ML to predict defects, automate test case generation, and ensure testing is integrated early in the development cycle, aligning with CI/CD practices. The goal is to make testing faster, smarter, and more reliable. This has led to SDETs becoming increasingly influential as they bridge the gap between being agile and delivering quality. Though critical to long term success, this is often overlooked as the focus shifts to putting out short term fires. Thus, companies must implement scalable test strategies as well as upskill testers to increase QA output and improve collaboration. That's how intelligent testing plays a vital role in defining certain best practices and guidelines that the team must adhere to deliver features with optimum quality and agility. With intelligent testing, the development cycles shorten and the release process fastens. According to a recent McKinsey study, agile teams are 27% more productive than teams following other SDLC methodologies. Moreover, a survey by Atlassian suggests that more than 50% of software teams are already using continuous integration and delivery, and about 32% plan to move to CI/CD. Also, more than 50% of organizations push changes to production on a daily basis. By now, I'm sure you would have realized that the very first step towards transforming your team of testers into skilled SDETs in this era of intelligent testing starts with you. All right, so let's look at the transformational strategy. SDET, software development engineer in test, is basically a person who is involved entirely across both SDLC and STLC processes. I'm sure most of you who already know the difference between tester and an SDET. I'll skip to the part where we must first understand some of the key benefits from this transition. They not only help automate repetitive tasks, but they have really good coding skills. SDETs develop automation scripts and frameworks, contribute to design discussions, code reviews, usability tests, and contribute to even development code if and when needed. That aids in improving the quality of deliverables with timely releases. Why? What is the pain you would cure if you had to implement this process? Do you think if testers just take up the ISTQB certification course, they would qualify as skilled SDETs? All right. Then how exactly would you plan to implement this? Do you have any specific technique in mind? Well, not. The technique I used to transform and upskill my team of SDETs was more from a reactive based approach to a cognitive based approach, which I'll discuss briefly in the coming slide. But it's important for you to remember transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that needs to be planned well and carried out in certain phases, which all depends on the project and business needs. The role of a tester now extends beyond executing test cases to include coding skills, DevOps knowledge, and involvement in CI/CD pipelines. Transitioning to an SDET role requires not just new skills, but also a shift towards quality ownership. Organizations can follow these 6 stages to evolve their testers into SDETs. The format I used was from an reactive approach to a cognitive approach. Talking of reactive, there's no dedicated testing team. Developers handle everything, testing with minimal tools and processes. Moving to a proactive approach where there's the formation of a small testing team with coding standards, test automation, and streamlined test environments. Moving further, we come to a strategic approach where there's use of extensive tools and frameworks with a focus on test management and incident analysis. Then we proceed towards shift left testing in sprint automation, where you have a combination of functional testing of UI and API and test driven development. That's where SDETs step in. The fifth approach is DevOps approach, where we focus more on adoption of continuous testing with CI/CD and a focus on Dockerized test, debugging logs, and performance monitoring. And last but not the least is the cognitive approach, where you embrace non-functional areas of testing and automation, low code, no code, service virtualization, and embracing generative AI. Moreover, to transform your testers into skilled SDETs, start by defining an ideal test strategy tailored to your application type, tech stack, project requirements, team size, and business needs. In modern frameworks like React, Angular, Ember.js, UI tests don't have to be the top tier of your test pyramid. You can effectively unit test your UI components in these frameworks. Adopt the test pyramid approach. Focus on writing numerous small, fast unit tests, add some coarse grained tests, and use fewer, higher end-to-end tests that you can use throughout this framework. This ensures a robust, fast, and maintainable test suite. What is generative AI? Generative AI is a powerful technology enabling customers to create human-like content through the use of computers. It could be in the form of text, images, music, and code. It learns from vast datasets to produce outcomes ranging from realistic to imaginative. Beyond being a tool, it's a creative collaborator, revolutionizing art, entertainment, design, software testing, problem solving, opening new frontiers for innovation across various fields. Talking about generative AI in software testing, it can reduce manual efforts by automatically generating test cases, identifying issues, and optimizing code, leading to faster development cycles and more reliable software. Integrating AI into the testing process can bring significant benefits, but it's important for you to understand its approach in the right way to maximize those benefits. So let's talk about certain best practices in which you can leverage this. I would suggest start small and focus on one or two use cases initially to demonstrate the value of generative AI in testing. Ensure that the data that you're using for testing and training these AI models is of high quality and representative of the real world scenarios. Use a test automation framework to incorporate AI experiments into the testing process. Develop a strong feedback loop to continuously improve the AI models and testing processes. Monitor the performance of these AI experiments, probably GPT-4o, Gemini, or various others, and regularly understand the same to ensure that it is delivering the expected results. And last but not the least, ensure that it is being used for ethical usage. Talking about shift left testing, it is a crucial strategy for any organization looking to enhance its testing processes. By involving testers early in the development lifecycle, we can identify and address potential use issues much sooner. This not only saves time and money, but also fosters better collaboration between development and QA teams. On the other hand, in sprint automation is about embedding quality checks directly into the development cycle. By automating tests as soon as code is written, we ensure that quality is maintained throughout the sprint. This approach reduces the risk of defects slipping through to later stages, ultimately leading to a more robust. Now, there are certain key metrics that really matter for quality assurance, and these are some of them that I would recommend, but feel free to use what suits best for your needs. These range across test KPIs, automation, customer satisfaction, and of course, the DORA metrics. I've also highlighted 6 major challenges that I've faced across my role, which many of you might also relate to, and how I converted those into opportunities. Talking about mindset change, which was more from a transition from an individual contributor role to a team lead. The opportunity I thought within this was embracing delegation, gaining time for strategic involvement, and recognizing that the team's success is your success. Talking about context switching, like handling multiple projects and remote work. The opportunity here was collaborating closely with the team, scheduling regular check ins like one on ones, and mastering time management, making use of techniques like Pomodoro. Sharing constructive feedback, especially when you're delivering negative feedback. The opportunity here is use techniques like SBI, which is situation, behavior, and impact, or maybe just simply peer to peer feedback or direct managerial feedback. Building team trust. Now, this is tricky. Overcoming the imposter syndrome. So, the opportunity here was trusting yourself and your team, avoiding micromanagement, listening actively, and taking responsibility for failures. When we talk about managing stakeholders effectively, more of bridging the communication gaps. The opportunity is to predict delays, communicate more openly, and refine processes over time. Last but not the least, reinventing the wheel over and again. Challenges have been reorgs, restructures, or simply exploring new ideas. Opportunities are assigning a small team to first assess small changes, identify the value, and then plan transitions carefully. It is important that you perform a SWOT analysis, which is to identify your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to know where are you presently. And then prepare smart goals so you know where are you headed. It is also equally important to build that execution strategy so you know what are the processes you would implement, what would be the customer satisfaction levels based on these new processes, and how you would help your team to innovate, elevate, and scale from there. To upskill your testing team, it's crucial to unlearn legacy methods and adopt modern developmental models. The QA has evolved significantly over the last decade, yet 70% of testers still seek the right courses for skill enhancement, driven by better pay, job security, respect, and career growth. Consider the 70-20-10 learning model. 70% learning from practical experience on the job, 20% from peers, and 10% from formal training. For the 10%, utilize platforms like LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, and communities like the Test Tribe, BrowserStack, Automation Advocates, and several others. Building an effective team requires recognizing strengths and weaknesses, giving and receiving constructive feedback, and more often communicating openly, delegating, and trusting your team. With this, I would like to end my talk with a quote by Walter Chrysler. Some people create their own opportunities, others go where opportunities are the greatest, and the rest fail to recognize opportunities when they are face to face with it. To wrap up, the transition to intelligent testing and the SDET role is a journey that requires a combination of technical skills, strategic implementation, and strong leadership. By embracing generative AI, predictive analytics, and other cutting edge technologies, we can not only improve our testing processes, but also deliver higher quality products at a faster pace. Thank you for joining me in exploring this exciting new era in software testing. See you all.